Greetings. My name is Oye, and I am the U.S. Representative of Washington, D.C. And today, I'll be highlighting the need to pass the Freedom to Vote Act. But before I do so, shout out to all of your hard work being done in West Virginia. The advocacy done by the Working Family Party and the Common Defense is inspiring folks to get involved and personally moves me to be a better leader and advocate. The consistency in your efforts are making a change, and I am honored to participate in your fight as you relay the Freedom to Vote's impact on veterans and why it's so critical for passage in today's political climate. Based on testimonials, it soon becomes evident that supporting veterans' rights is also fighting for the rights of all Americans. I'll explain to you what I mean through a few of today's most pressing issues. This past Veterans Day, I helped lead a rally through the District of Columbia, where I was able to share the stage with community leaders, other elected officials, and local DC vets. These were the issues we were talking about. Poverty and homelessness has been rising amongst the veteran community, especially amongst millennial vets. So when I joined the cause with Thaddeus and the Working Family Party on the Fight for 15, or when we push for free community college in state schools, know that this will have a profound effect on millions of Americans, especially much of our youngest servicemen and women. When I talked to Zach from Common Defense and discussed the legislative attacks on unions leading to an increased national wage gap, it too becomes evident that the veteran community are impacted by the lack of progressive legislation. On another note, 30% of post 9/11 vets are women. Our military today is more diverse than it's ever been in terms of religion, background, and gender. So when we talk about reproductive rights, equal pay for equal work, ending workplace harassment, and holding abuses to account, we are supporting veterans' rights. You don't support the troops if you refuse to support equal rights for women. Last but not least, our most sacred American right, our American right to vote. Recently, we are seeing full-scale attacks on our democracy. We're seeing poll stations after stations close down, uninformed conversations about voting fraud, partisan gerrymandering, increased barriers for folks to vote, attempts to prohibit voting by mail, strategies used to decrease voting participation amongst the most marginalized, strategies that are now inadvertently standing in the way of the voting rights of veterans. Service members that come to my mind are those who suffer from battle scars, both visible and unseen. Folks with profound PTSD to the point that they are unable to spend hours around strangers. Former servicemen and women who get triggered by unexpected sounds and actions. To me, this fight to pass the Freedom to Vote Act is how we protect all of those who protected us. To allow all Americans, including our veterans, to vote the way they want to, rather than the way a few Congress members want the rest of us to. The Freedom to Vote Act will protect our veterans from unnecessary harm and hardship. Simply put, the Freedom to Vote Act not only secures our democracy, but also protects the lives of those who preserve our freedom. In today's times, it seems that congressional support for our troops begin and ends in sports and budget season. But what I've learned from the great example set by Thaddeus from the Working Family Party and Zach from Common Defense is that supporting the troops is more than just a slogan, but rather a daily, multidimensional commitment to improve the lives of others. From expanding healthcare to strengthening unions' collective bargaining power, true support for our American veterans lead to vast improvements in our collective ways of life. So in conclusion, I'll leave you with this. As we give everything we got, I pledge my support for the Freedom to Vote Act. At the same time, I also pledge to do the same for all the work being done by West Virginia's Common Defense and Working Family Party. Because I am a proud partner and I'm a proud ally in the work you all do. So whenever you need me, you got me. God bless you all and see you all soon.